Greetings, humans. Oh my god, lads. It is so good to be back here, recording a video for you lot. Oh my gosh, it feels like it's been forever. Anyways, I don't know how long and how in-depth I want this video to be, so I'll try and make this quickly. I feel as though this should be a simple story time. So not too many crazy edits, not too many crazy anythings. For this story, I need you all to put on your... Thinking caps is not the correct word. Damn it, I said I wasn't going to edit this. Now I look crazy because I do talk to myself very often. I go off on these tangents. You know what? Just listen to me. Can you do that? Thank you. So for this story to really be as immersive as I hope it is, I'm going to have to do a bit of fibbing a bit in the beginning. It's not exactly lying. It's more so suspense for storytelling purposes. You know, the politicians do it all the time. Damn it, don't go on that tangent. Okay, anyways, let's just start the story. I would say since I've been a child, and I would say probably starting around the age of, let's say around about 8, I always wanted to be an actor. And people have always, throughout my life, told me that I would be good in some sort of entertainment, be it, First of all, fuckers, don't roast me in the comment sections, okay? This is what other people said about me in the past. It's not anything about my current abilities or what I can do. I'm not saying I could do these things. It's just what other people have told me. So I better not see anything disrespectful. Capiche? Good. I'm glad we came to a deal. Anyways, I've had people over the years tell me stuff like, oh, you'd be good as an actor. Or you should go into comedy, some sort of entertainment. And I never really thought anything of it up until I was around maybe like 15 or whatever. I was very much scared of doing anything that would require me be in front of a stage or in front of a camera. And realistically, I haven't come into this much more confidence in my own abilities until I started making videos on this channel here. I mean, the last time I think I showed my face on the internet or just like recording myself with a camera would have been when I was 2012. I would have been turning 11, but I would have been 10 at the time. And then I wouldn't show my face anywhere or record or take photos of myself or anything of the sort until I was around 19, which was because I started making videos for this channel. But in the background, I've always wanted to do something in entertainment. Be it acting, be it whatever it may be. But I was always too scared to, go up on a stage or audition for anything. Most of the acting things that I've been allowed to do or that have been in the vicinity of me have been stage plays. And while obviously my main goal was to be up on the camera, on the TV shows, I want to be the next Spider-Man. Okay. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Listen, when I mean I don't mean, you know what? I'm not even gonna go into it. I swear to God, it doesn't matter. Excess lore from, this was Spider-Man before, like, people... I'm talking about Peter Parker, okay? I'm talking about Peter Parker, like, how would you be Peter Parker? Bitch, I was 10! I didn't know, okay? I don't want to be... Never mind. Anyways. But so, gradually, as I was making more content or more videos on this channel, I was becoming more confident in myself, becoming more comfortable being myself. And randomly, I was approached by my theater teacher. He was all like, Eve, you'd be wonderful to audition for this play coming up. And I decided, you know what? I might as well do it. This is the clearest my schedule has ever been in life. this is the most confident I've ever been in life. Let's try this out. So I go in and it's for a serious role. And I think the thing that I'm really scared of is confidence can sometimes be perceived as arrogance or feeling like, or the person who's talking about themselves, it makes people think that they think they're better than other people. And truthfully speaking, it's not that I think that I'm better than other people. It's that I know that I'm better than other people. That was a joke. I'm sorry. I don't want to feel scared to talk about my own abilities. I think it's really good for people to know what they're good at and what they're bad at. There are lots of things that I'm bad at, but there are things that I know that I'm good at that I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I'm not going to be like, I'm okay at doing this. No, bitch, I know I'm goated. I'm not going to lie to you. So I went in for the audition, absolutely fucking killed it. Okay. And so I wait a few months or whatever. I wait like half a month and I get a call back. They're like, hey, so you didn't get the role. I'm like, oh, but we think you'd be great for this comedy festival over at this campus. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. So I didn't get the serious role, but I got not recasted, but I got switched over to do this like comedy festival play thing. Essentially, it was just a bunch of short plays back to back. It was a bunch of like mini plays stacked together. I don't know how much I can really talk about it because it's not like we signed an ND. It's not like we signed an NDA, but I was very intensely asked not to speak too much about it. So I'm gonna keep it on the hush hush. So I was recruited to this comedy. Ooh, sorry, I shot the gun. So I was recruited to this comedy festival, right? Which was just a bunch of short plays mashed together. And honestly, because this was my first acting role, I wanted a very small role. I wanted a side character. I wanted somebody with the least amount of lines possible. And so I auditioned again for this side character in this one play that I thought was really funny, and I thought the character fit my personality exactly. Well, the director said, fuck that, you're not going to be the side character, you're the protagonist. I'm like, what the fuck? Listen, the thing that I did not want was the protagonist. Because, human, listen, the protagonist had 6 whole paragraphs of just yapping. I mean, this dude was just talking for... I guess that is me, huh? Fuck you. You know what? That's why I don't even want to record this video. And you know what? That's why I'm taking me and my friends and we're getting the fuck out of here. Making fun of me and my damn channel. But so I didn't want the protagonist. I really did not want the protagonist. Because I was all like, yo, his lines are crazy. The terminology, the words that he's using are so extravagant. How am I going to memorize this? This is my first acting role. I don't want to do this. But I'm just kind of like, I lock down. Because the thing about me is that when I set my mind to something, I don't ever want to half-ass it. So I low for a whole week. Oh, mind you, I was casted in about 3 different plays. I think in total there was maybe like 7 or 8 plays in total, and I was casted in 3. I dropped one of them because I just hated the play in and of itself. But I'm really only going to be talking about one because I think it's the honestly speaking, I think it was the best play out of all of them. And I think it was the one that taught me a lot about myself as an actor and as a entertainer in general. So I bunkered down for a week. I learned all those 6 long ass paragraphs. And ultimately, I think overall that there's a lot that I could go into. I don't even know where to go from here. I think ultimately, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a lot that I could go into about this story, but I think it's too much, and I don't really have enough time on my camera to talk about it all. But I put my best foot forward. I did. I put my everything into this. The physicality that I brought to this play, which was not required of me, by the way. I just felt like this character was made for me. It really felt like it was an exaggeration of who I was as a person. And so I just brought this physicality, this speech and cadence of talking that I thought fit the character so well. And there were people who had been acting there for since they were a child, and they came up to me and they're like, "This is your first time acting? I thought you've been doing this for years." And like multiple people after the play was done, or while we were in the process of doing the play, were just all like, "There's no way this is your first time acting. Like your stage presence, your voice, your diction, just everything about you is just so spectacular." And again, I'm sorry, I don't want to. I know it sounds, but like, I'm just trying to paint the picture fully before I go into why this is ultimately not for me. I think we did this play for about 3 months. 3 months working on it. And I realistically don't think I had a single fun moment until the final week of making it. I put my best foot forward because ultimately I knew that if I did spectacular, and listen, I don't know how to convey how good I was in the play, but I've definitely gotten people who have told me, I might intersplice this story right here, but I've definitely had people who told me that I was the best part of the entire play. I've even had people tell me that I was literally in every play that I was in, I was the one who stole the entire show. And it was because I knew the better I did in the play, the less time people would have to spend on me reworking things or rehashing things, meaning the faster I could go home. Because ultimately, I was not having fun. I was not having fun in the slightest. Were there times where I did have fun? Ultimately, yes. But realizing the amount of gas that I had to pay for, the amount of traveling that I had to do, the long nights of not coming home until like, not getting off until like 8 and then not being home until like 11. I live very far away from the place. And having to balance, oh my God, having to balance my personal life and my personal life, this YouTube thing, school, and make sure I'm putting my best forward for this It was, I don't even want to literally the last day of the play, I wrote this entry in my diary, and I wrote, I forget what I wrote, but it was ultimately like, I'm glad to have my life back. Because honestly speaking, I've done a lot of growth during these past 3 months. And part of it is because of the play, for better or for worse. But I low-key feel like my life was put on hold because of the play. And it's nobody's fault but my own. I want to make this very clear, because I had lots of conversations with people. I was like, yeah, this is my last time acting because I can't do this anymore. And there's like, no, you're great. Why would you, like, I had to tell people, I'm just all like, this is not fun. This is not fun for me. Like, I don't care about it. Like, you're getting so many laughs. It's like, yeah, but they feel hollow. Like, again, I'm sorry about the arrogance. I'm sorry about the listen, I know that I'm funny. I don't need other people. No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. So listen, I'm sorry. I mean, I haven't recorded a video in forever. I'm in a jokey mood, and honestly, this video right here is not the video to be jokey with stuff like that. It was fucking me up. It was. I don't even want to go into too much detail, but I think ultimately it felt like this is what I had to say to somebody. I was all like, I feel like I have no autonomy of my body. Like, I have to come here and I have to perform this certain cadence each and every day. I have to put on this costume that I hate that isn't flattering to my body whatsoever. And I have to do these other things which makes me uncomfortable. I have to say these certain lines that makes me feel icky. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? Ultimately, I approach this as if this was an actual acting gig. Because for context, this is a college production. And this is what somebody told me. They were all like, listen, you don't have to beat yourself up over this. This is just college. This is school. I was like, yeah, but if I want to do this for real, I have to treat it like it's an actual gig. And that's what I did. And ultimately, I realized that acting, or to be an actor, this might be a bit controversial, but tell me if I'm wrong. To be an actor, you cannot say the word no. In life, in industries where there are lots of people who are pining, who would love nothing more to take your role in whatever gig that you are doing. People will always be at the helm to be degraded more than you, to be treated less than you. And ultimately, I realize that the more autonomy you want over yourself, or the more respect you want over yourself, the less you're gonna work. He said, like, what was I supposed to say? Be all like, no, I don't feel like wearing that. That feels gross on my body. Well, somebody else, some other weird 20-something-year-old is gonna be able to do ha 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 in the same way that I can, who will be able to wear less clothing, who's comfortable wearing less clothing. I don't feel comfortable saying this certain line. It makes me feel icky. Well, some other kid who's able to do ha ha ha, all right, they're gonna be okay with that, and they're gonna be okay with saying even worse stuff. Ultimately, I realize that I have to be malleable, and I have to put aside my dignity to get to a place. I just said a lot there. Let me just try and smooth past this, because again, I do have a certain amount of time that I'm only allowed to record for. Ultimately, I realized that to be an actor starting out, you can't say no. You have to take every role that you can get to get to a point where you're getting paid enough. Mind you, we were not getting paid for this whatsoever. But get to a point where you're getting paid enough to where you can be selective with your roles. So ultimately, I was like, this is my first acting gig. Let me treat it as if this is the real thing. And I was like, the moment I realized that this was not for me was when I got that one play where I had to say so much stuff that made me uncomfortable, to the point where the guy that replaced me, anytime, because we were in the back room whenever other people's plays were going on, whenever he had to go up and say his lines, I legit had to leave the general area, because just hearing those lines said out made me so fucking uncomfortable that I just had to leave the room, or I would just go into a cringe frenzy. So my camera is currently on life support, so I don't exactly have much time to talk. But today was the opening of the play, and honestly speaking, it went
It was amazing, honestly. The two pieces that I was in, I'm sure I've already talked about it. I'm recording this first, so I don't know what I've already talked about or what I haven't talked about. But I'm just gonna go into the details about today specifically that I think was just amazing. I mean, this is the first time I've ever acted in anything. This is the first time I've ever done anything so physical or been a part of any sort of project. I mean, this has been 3 months in the making of practicing and all that, and to have that all culminate to this one sort of thing, to have other people react to it genuinely and not know what's going to come next, it was wonderful. Oh my gosh, the playwright for for two of the shows that I was in, for two of the plays that I was in. The first show was written by this guy, and he came all the way from New York. I think he's from New Jersey, but he came from New York all the way down to where I am. You know what? I'll go into more detail maybe in the actual video, but I'll say it was interesting to have people react to me to the first time in actual real life. I can't say that I enjoyed it. I mean, it was lovely having people come up to me and be all like, hey, you did a good job. It was, honestly speaking, I feel like I've spoiled myself a lot with YouTube and doing this content creation stuff a lot. Because the compliments that I was getting, it was amazing. It really was. There were people coming up to me, he's like, yo, you were the best part of the show. Or like, yo, no, literally, there was this one dude. This guy was like 6'7". I'm not even exaggerating. This dude, when I was doing like a transition for, I was queued up for a transition in one of the shows because I had to move around some of the furniture and stuff. I was going out and he stops me. He's like, yo, you are the best part of this show. You are fucking amazing. I'm like, thanks. And I'm trying to like, because this is the door, right? He steps in front of me, like in the door. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna miss my cue. Like, move, nigga. I don't say that, but I'm thinking it. He's just smiling down at me. This nigga is like 6'17". I'm not even exaggerating. Look at the seriousness on my face. So this dude, he's looking down at me, fucking 6'25" ass nigga. I'm trying to get to the door because I'm going to miss my fucking cue. I'm like, thanks, bruh. Nah, hey, move, bruh. And I'm not trying to be like confrontational, so I'm literally just staring at the door. I can see this dude just smiling down at me. You're fucking amazing. Like, I love you in this show. Like, you're literally, like, I'm like, thank you, bruh. And I'm just eyeing the door down. And so I go for my cue, right? Then I come back around. The director, the theater director comes back. She's all like, Eve, that was the dean of the school. Well, why the fuck didn't he introduce himself with that first? Goddamn, I'm just supposed to know every single fucking 7'12" dude that I see. Well, I swear to God, I've never seen a nigga so fucking tall that he's literally, him bending over, his head is still almost touching the fucking ceiling. Bro has built-in scoliosis. I'm like, it was crazy, bro. This dude was like 8'7", I'm not even exaggerating. But it was like the playwright, he loved it. I think that was really amazing. I mean, I got so many compliments today I had a lot of friends who came to see the opening. I have a lot of friends who are coming to see the other shows as well, and that's lovely. I think outside of today, because I knew the playwright was coming to see the show and I wanted to put on an amazing performance for him specifically, and he loved it. Oh my God, he loved me as Commander Matt Mason. That was hearing him talk about me. That was amazing. That I won't lie. That was because you don't like because realistically this is somebody's vision that they wrote down, going through a director, going through a costume designer, going through me. This is like 5+ different people's rendition of what they think this character should be. And to know that personal choices that I made physicality wise, diction wise, just absurdness wise that he loved. That was amazing. That definitely warmed my heart. Besides this today, the opening, also Monday, I'm looking to put on an absolute show on Monday. I'm not sure if I've explained why yet in the video, but I'm sure I will. Monday and today, I'm going big. I'm going big tomorrow. I'm gonna go big all throughout the festival, but I just specifically today and specifically Monday, it's on. It's on, definitely. But yeah, it was cute hearing the things people had to say to me. What else did I want to say? I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, Jiggles is telling me that I have to fucking leave. Is that what you're saying? Oh, nope, she just left. Well, I don't have any much more else to say, and my camera's going to die, so I think I'll give this back to Justice in the future. You're supposed to edit this part out, dumbass.
So usually I take a 30-minute break in between recordings to let my camera recharge, but I think what I want to say is that ultimately what we did these past 3 months was something amazing. It was the first time these plays have ever been showcased anywhere. All of these plays are new. In all of the effort that the cast and the crew, I love them so much. Ultimately, what we did was a creation of our own, along with a collaboration of the minds of many different playwrights, and I think that is something amazing. Ultimately, it's just not something for me. The most fun that I had during that play was the first initial day when the playwright for the play that I was in, that I've been talking about this whole time, seeing his reaction to all like the little physicality or the voice inflections that I did, and just his reaction to, oh my god, I don't even know if I talked about, I have to make this quick. Like, there are so many times, I mean, during that first day, I mean, that opening alone where I just come in, literally, I swear to God, it was like I was in a live audience television show, and like the audience was just applauding, just like I remember there's this one moment at the end where I was so proud. I was like, we did this. Was the reveal. There was a twist at the end, and my co-star, my castmate, excuse me, he comes out and the crowd just erupts. I was all like, we did this. I was all like, we did this, baby. And then the second time that I had the most fun would have been when a very special person came to see the play. And I don't get to see this person very often. And we weren't even sure if they were going to be able to come to see the play on Monday. That was the day they were coming. And I remember just all like, I hope they see this. I really do hope they see this. Because I'll be honest, I almost quit the play. I really did. I almost quit the play just to be able to spend more time with them. And I'm glad I didn't. For many, many reasons that I can't go into for this video because it's going to be too long. But I'm glad I stuck through it, even though ultimately I didn't really have too much fun with the play. But when they came through, if I was performing at like a 10 the whole entire week, I was performing at an absolute 100 when they were there. I remember I would just, because listen, I snuck a few glances at their face, and the amazement that was on their eyes was just like, I was all like, okay, Eve, okay. That was just everything. I'm not gonna lie to you. Partially part of the reason why I continued to do the play was all like, listen, I wanted to show off in front of my mans. wasn't about to look foolish in front of my man. The fuck? Absolutely not. Of course I was performing. People are like, oh, there's no way this is the first time you've ever performed. You've done this for a while. Your stage presence, you literally command every single scene you're in. Bitch, cause my man's gonna be here. Of course I'm commanding. I'm like, hello. I'm like. But Eve, how did this shatter your dreams? Ultimately, when I said I wanted to become an actor, I meant a voice actor. I've never been interested in physicality. It's not that I'm scared of being up on a stage or scared of performing in front of people. I just don't like it. Ultimately, physical stuff, and I know this sounds strange, it's for me. Like, people, if you don't know, I do a bit of dancing. People are all like, you should become a professional dancer. I can't. Because dancing is for me. It's something that gives me joy, and it's something for myself. I don't like dancing for other people or doing other people's dances. When I'm performing something or doing anything up on a stage, I like it when it's my ideas, when it's my physicality, not when it's the physicality of somebody else's orders for me to do. And that's ultimately what it felt like I was doing. I love that I was able to bring somebody else's ideas to life, but it's like, I have my own ideas. I have my own visions. And when I'm performing or when I'm in front of people, I want to feel like I have autonomy of my own, not the autonomy that somebody else gives to me, if that makes sense. And I could go into so much detail about like why I'm so much more comfortable with voice acting instead of being in front of a stage or being in front of a camera acting. But it doesn't matter. I think ultimately I've always been interested in voice acting. I've been interested in voice acting since I was a kid, since I was a child. And I'm glad that I had this experience of acting full body because people have told me that I would be good at it. And ultimately speaking, I was. But it's not for me. And I don't think it ever will be, and I probably won't ever. Ultimately, I realized while I was doing the play that people would ask me, they're all like, well, if you're not going to act, what are you going to do? Because you're good at performing, you're good at doing this, your comedic timing, your stage presence, all this is amazing. What are you going to do? And I realized I already have a platform where I feel that creative energy come out. This. YouTube. And that sucked. To be for 3 months, be taken away from being able to create videos. I saw like, I'm bringing something to life that somebody else created, which was amazing. But that ultimately, that funness only lasted for about 2 days. The day when the actual playwright was there, and then the day when my man was there. And all the other days, I was kind of miserable. I still performed my ass off. But I was all like, I have a platform where I can be creative. Where I can be as playful. When I can just be free to be myself. When I can perform. And it's this. Do I want to become a YouTuber professionally? Absolutely not. And for many reasons, do I still want to pursue voice acting in the future? 1000%. I love voice acting. Even though I've never done it, just the semblance of the voice work that I did for the plays specifically, I was all like, I love everything about this except for the physical aspect. And I just... Listen, I'm sorry, I have confidence in myself. I do. I think I would be an amazing voice actor. I believe that within every single fiber of my body. And I would like to keep YouTube as a hobby because I have so much fun doing this. Ultimately, when I came back that last day of the play, when I finally had my life back, I met with my person. I recorded and I edited a video. And the joy that I had while editing that video was so much grander than any fun that I had during the production of the play. And that's when I realized this YouTube thing is where I need to be. Again, no aspirations to become a YouTuber. It's not for me. And it probably never will be, and I hope it doesn't. Because there are lots of issues that I have with social media, YouTube in general, that don't have the time to go into. But I love this YouTube thing. I will never stop it until I physically can't. Career-wise, would I ever like to become a full-time voice actor? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. Do I see that happening anytime in the foreseeable future? No. But I've been pining to do a play for years, and I finally got to do it. Realize it's not for me. I would love to try voice acting someday, and I'm sure I'll get to. And when that day comes, I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, that's the story about how my first acting role shattered my dreams. But it brought me into the realization that I ultimately had other dreams, other aspirations. And one of those is that I love being here with you lot. And I'm glad to be back. Anyways, it's been Justice. I'll see you lot later. Peace.